Good evening, guys. We are at Village Story today. We are Bangalore-based initiative, and you are seeing right now Village Story. Good evening, everybody. This is Anamika here, and I am from Village Story, Bangalore. And this is Village Story. ये हमारा फार्म है. This is our community farming. We give our farm to people to come and do farming with us, take an experience. It's a samuhik kheti which we keep. We are doing it from last 2.5 years. We are based in Bangalore, guys, and good evening, everyone. We will wait for 5 minutes for everybody to join. And before that, I am showing you this place which is called Village Story. This is our initiative, a startup based in Bangalore. And Bangalore is really very good weather right now. I was hoping that it will rain because it was getting quite humid. And meet our Coco. Hey Coco. Coco, come and say hi. Hello, hello. Yes. That's Coco. Yes. That's the Coco. We have Hazel also around. We will give you 5 minutes, guys, before we start the workshop today. So we are all in this lockdown situation today, where we are with our families. We are trying to figure out ourselves. We are rebooting ourselves. The nature is rebooting. Everything is very different because whenever we take holidays or we take our our break at home, we know we have some kind of plan. But this lockdown was never a plan for anyone, and we are figuring it out what to do. We are figuring it out how to engage everyone, how to engage our community, how to engage ourselves with work. We have started doing online session for people to understand and associate with us. And that's how we decided that we'll create microgreen workshop. And microgreen is superfood today. We all know that everybody is trying to be healthy. Everybody is trying to invent different kind of food, different variety, the recipes. So microgreen is also something which has really come up now for all of us. And Village Story has been doing microgreen from last 1 year. But during this lockdown, we first 1 week was very tough for us also. We were figuring it out. How do we manage our farm? How do we manage our work? How do we grow? How do we maintain? And between all this, I was thinking, why don't we create something and share it with people so that people can understand that if we don't have accessibility of soil or farm or garden, then also we have the intention to grow. So that is the intention. The intention was very simple, that we should start growing food without having a land or a garden. And that's how Village Story started giving online sessions to and started collaborating with many organizations. And in that process, we got in touch with agriculture world, and Lakshmi Arvind has been really kind so we collaborated with Krishi Jagran and agriculture world. Thank you so much, guys, to give us this opportunity to do this workshop with all of you guys. Thank you, Lata ma'am. Lata ma'am is joining from Dubai. And I will be placing my camera here. Somebody will be helping me out. So guys, good evening again. This is Anamika here from Village Story, and namaskar everyone. This is Village Story, and today, idhar aa jao Niju. Today we'll be doing how to grow your microgreens by using soil if you have soil, or by using water if you do not have soil. So I was telling everyone that we are into this lockdown situation where we don't have access to many gardening equipment and gardening stuff. I've asked everybody to keep a few things arranged. Guys, this is a online session which we are doing it through mobile in a remote place. Sometime connection do drops in, so you can again join back on Agriculture World to see us live. And sometime the audio can be little difficult due to the connection of yours or maybe mine, so please spare us. And we are also learning to do this online. This is also our new experience to get into the online space to give you the workshop. So workshop is very hands-on workshop, guys. I hope you guys have read and are ready to do some online workshop with us. Before we get into the online workshop, we want you guys to understand and the whole concept of the superfood microgreen. Why microgreen? What is the usage of microgreen? The benefit of microgreen? How do we grow the microgreen? How do we take care of this microgreen? What is this microgreen? Big space which this superfood has acquired today. India or me, I was not aware of microgreens just year and a half, 2 years back, once I started growing these superfood. So it was very new for me also. Anything which is new is challenging, and definitely you feel like that you want to do more of these new food. It looks amazing on your plate, and it motivates you, something new. So guys, be ready. We have asked you guys to keep some boxes. So if you have still not got, you should go and grab these boxes, one big, one small. If you don't have these boxes, these are grape boxes, those strawberry boxes. If you have it, please go and grab these boxes. You don't have these boxes, the plate which we hold the pot, something like this, you get it in the market in green color, yellow color, red color. So depth should be 1.5 inch, not more than that. We'll be showing you how to grow in this. That's why we said you cannot go to the market today, but with your own facility in your house, you will grow your microgreen today, and we will show you. So guys, growing of microgreen and the whole process is just a 10 minutes job, which we will be doing it with you. But please understand, it has a lot of things attached to it. So we will be taking you guys through every aspect of microgreen. So when we were giving session yesterday, somebody said, do it fast. It's not a TikTok video for 5 minutes, guys. I really want you guys to understand and get into the detail in terms of their nutritional value, in terms of their usage, in terms of growing. All of this is going to come right now with us. I'm Anamika from Village Story. And guys, before we start, we would like we would like to take you guys through what is microgreen, and why we started growing microgreen so aggressively in this lockdown situation. We all are so used to different lifestyle, where we go to the market, go and buy our food, go and buy our groceries, pick up anything from the shelf, and without realizing where the food is coming from, who is growing the food. Very important aspect today. Somehow in all this process, we have lost a touch of being thankful to our farmers. And when we start growing our own food, this is biggest thing which is going to come in front of you, that you will start respecting your food a lot. You will start respecting those farmers a lot, and definitely the wastage will be really, really far. So going on to few things about microgreens before we get into the do-it-yourself workshop. So we all about our top killer diseases. I'm not scaring you guys, but this is a fact. Today, the top killer diseases are spread all over the place, and the only reason which is common in all these diseases are lifestyle changes, like all the lifestyle which we live today. So what are these things? We are talking about cardiovascular heart diseases, which is 24.8% of the death happens due to the heart attack. Okay, and it is very common today. It is very common again due to lifestyle which we live in. We have respiratory disorder. We have tumors and cancer. When I was growing up, I did not hear these cancer and these life-threatening diseases in every houses. Today, every house has one or the other cancer patient. I know at least 20 people in different houses, including my own houses, relative, friend, are suffering with this disease. Digestive disorder. Then we have diarrheal diseases. Everything related to mostly what we eat. What we eat and the type of food we eat, that really shows in our diseases. So these are all of these are diseases are related to our lifestyle, how we live, how we eat, where we buy our food from, and these are all connected to our diet and nutrition. What today everybody, it's not nothing something which I'm talking about new to you guys. You guys are well adverse to food which you are consuming, how much you are consuming, what is the content, the nutritional value, everything today. But somehow we are not giving time for our own health. Our own requirement is not getting into the priority mode, or maybe we are ignorant. We know so much, we are educated, we understand, but when it comes to practice, we forget. So food adulteration and contamination. We are talking about grains, we are talking about vegetable, we are talking about fruits, we are talking about tea and coffee here, we are talking about meat, the chicken and the meat, mutton, fish, we are talking about spices, milk, oil, and the honey. All of these things are in the kitchen today with us. To honey to milk, everything is in our kitchen, and all of these things are, believe me guys, everything has some amount of residual of chemicals. However anybody claims, however we talk about, there are people who are practicing organic and not putting the pesticides, 100% chemical free, but eventually we don't know how much and how less or how more, we don't know, because we are not growing it. Okay, we don't have that capacity to grow today. Okay, we only have the trust factor is the market, which we go and we buy. It is written organic market, we go, we buy. We trust the name, we trust the brand, we trust the people behind it. But what if I tell you that we grow these things? You trust yourself the best, you grow for your child grows for you. I mean, these all things can come into the picture once we start, and the start has to be something small. I'm sure here right now a lot of people who are watching us are already matured in these agriculture businesses or agriculture practices, or are already growing microgreens. They are experts, so my regards to them. And if there is something which as a new person like me who says something which has any correction to it, please put it in your comment. I will make sure that I implement that in my next session when I'm sharing the knowledge to all of you guys. Why grow your own food? Why do we grow your own food? Why do we talk about growing our own food? Why do we promote saying that everybody should have a small garden, everybody should grow your food, however small, at least improve your health? So consuming self-grown, organically grown food is one of the most important things that you can do to stay healthy, by avoiding contamination of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Okay, we know if we are growing, I'm not going to take the pest, I'm not going to take the chemical fertilizer and put it in my food when I know it is harmful for our body. Of course, we save a lot of money on our groceries. One of the benefit of gardening one's own vegetables is a reduced monthly expense, food expense to us. Of course, we all earn a hobby. We have a family time, family bonding. We stay active by working in the garden. My parents, my in-laws are now 70 plus, and they don't have any help in the house today in this scenario. Also, if they have help, they only keep help for outside. But younger generation, I see that if some a help is not there, or the housemaid is not there, we panic because we are not used to doing everything. But our older generations are, because the food they have eaten, the lifestyle they have lived, and the practice which they are doing of everything doing their on their own, is really taking them to this stage where they can, my father-in-law came and he climbed that coconut tree 3 years back, 2.5 years back, when we started Village Story. That is the time when he was here, and he started harvesting the coconut from coconut tree. So amazing strength the generation has, and we need to learn from them. I have seen my mom growing wheat grass, which is there. Can you see that wheat grass at home in Navratra and these puja time? And we used to see this by getting into a juicer and giving us the green shot. So yeah, I was telling you about why grow your own food. We have a lot of fun engagement, family engagement, learning the whole process of sowing seed to growing seed to taking care of the sapling to harvesting the sapling to make something beautiful out of it. The whole process, the family is involved when it comes from your own garden. Okay, it's like your own baby. Yeah, you have seen the baby growing from this stage to that stage. Okay, of course you bond with your mother nature. Today need of our everybody. Yesterday was Earth Day. I seriously pray to all of you guys that we should celebrate Earth Day every day. We need Earth more. Earth doesn't need us. They are happy without us. We all have seen the whole system is rebooting, including the environment. Everybody, the trees are happy, the birds are coming out, all different kind of species are coming out today in the environment. So it's all which is really was required to in today's space which we live in. So we'll start with what is microgreens. So what is microgreens, guys? Microgreens are the herb or vegetable greens harvested after the first leaf. First leaf is this, guys. This is the first leaf. See, I have not taken the root. I have only harvested the leaf. The first leaf, the first shoot, Cattlodon have developed. This is called the first leaf, is called microgreen. These are called microgreen, guys. So microgreens are the herbs and the vegetables, leaves and the greens, which the first bit 3 to 4 inches you remove it, and this is called your microgreens. Not to be confused with sprouts, shoots and saplings. We cannot remove this and put it in the pot or put it on the farm to grow. This is radish. I cannot create a big radish from here because already you see the density which we have put here. The whole seed is so thin, so dense, that it is already given the life to this shoot. Now it's not gonna go to the pot and start growing your radish, proper big radish. So it doesn't happen. Once it is harvested, you cannot regrow it. It doesn't regrow. So once it is harvested, we take out the soil, we put it in our compost bin. Again it gets recycled and it again comes back to our pot, or we give it to the farm. Somewhere we have community farming, which is at right now at Village Story. We go and give it to these plants, and that's how we use the leftover cocoa peat and the soil after harvesting the microgreens. So microgreens are used as both a visual, very healthy and very flavor component ingredients. Visually it looks very good. We have different colors of microgreens, from green, green and red amaranthus, from purple cabbage to yellow Swiss chard to desi seeds like radish. We have do with microgreens. So microgreens and little bit more about it. Very trendy with immense health benefit. Have become a popular choice of health experts, nutritionists, and general household. All the nutritionists have started using these microgreens in terms of smoothie. They are talking about all health shots. They are talking about health drink. Everybody has started using these microgreens and started growing these microgreens. It's a big health choice today, which they are recommending to their clients. Served at the best of the restaurant. Today when you go to all gourmet restaurant, all these 5-star restaurant, it's an experience that once after you put your stuff on your plate, your food on your plate, you harvest your own microgreen and put it on your plate, and it really is wow. And the whole food, the whole flavor really changes because it has very sharp flavor. Lot of microgreens, I'll be taking you through different kinds of taste and flavor of microgreens when we go ahead. But once it is spread on these salads and these toppings and garnish, it really gives a different, it really turns around the whole dish to a different level altogether. Nutritional value, we will talk in detail also for nutritional value. So very easy to grow, guys. We don't need right now, when I'll show you how to grow these microgreens, I am telling you right now, you will start with me how to grow microgreens, and you will practice and you will continue. Space efficient, guys. This is our space of microgreens, as you can see at the back. Are you able to see this at the back? This is our microgreen space. One rack if you are doing something with commercial, because we sell our microgreens. This is simple, which we have done. We have taken these racks and we have taken these industrial trays. Okay, can you see these? This is our racks for microgreens. So very simple. So it doesn't require so much of space. This is industrial, but at home you don't require any big space for microgreens. You just need small table or small space like this with 3-4 plates, and you are done with your spacing. So it doesn't require, at home when you are growing your microgreens, you don't have to think, oh, I don't have space to grow microgreen. Microgreen needs this much space. For one family, 2-3 plates like this is enough, because you cannot consume everything together when you start growing it. I will tell you, I'll take it to you, take it to the later stage, how much it gets harvested and stuff. Very easy to prepare, because you don't have to prepare microgreen. The best part about microgreen, you don't have to cook your microgreen. Microgreens are eaten raw. It's a raw food. It's a plant-based diet. It's a vegan food. You don't have to cook this food. You don't have to try anything big or experimental. You just cut and you eat. You cut, you put in some dish. Yesterday I think I had some dosa with my anda bhurji with microgreen on top of it. As simple as that. And if you really want to get into detail, I also saw somebody making a nice guacamole with microgreens, and it was really looking yum, and I'm going to try that. I'm going to tell you in my next slide what all things you can do with microgreen, but very easy to prepare, because you don't need any preparation. You only have to chop, you have to harvest and put in your dish. Lower risk of foodborne illness, we will come to that in detail. The foodborne illness is really less when you eat your microgreens. Very flavorful, beautiful on the plate, and exotic when you serve it on the table. I would like to touch upon one more very important aspect of microgreens, which people get confused while growing microgreen or understanding about microgreen, is confusion about microgreens and sprout. So guys, sprouts are different, microgreens are different. I want you to understand, sprouts are seeds, and microgreens, after the shoot, the leaf, the first leaf which comes out of the seed is microgreen. So what is the difference between microgreen and sprout? Germination of microgreen is in potting soil or coco peat or soil, any kind of soil, where germination of sprouts are in the water. Microgreen leaves and stem can be eaten, not the roots. Where the sprouts and the where for the sprouts, the seeds, the whole seed can be eaten. Okay. Then high on nutritional value. Microgreen is very high on nutritional value and packed with so much of flavor. Every seed has different flavor. Okay, we will take you through the flavors and the spice and the experience of the taste of microgreen on our later stage. Microgreen needs little bit of sunlight and ventilation to grow, so that it can be avoided with fungal attack and mold. Where sprouts, the whole system of sprout works with the bacteria and the dampness and the darkness. So sprout really do good with that environment where microgreen like this is our microgreen station. Can you see this at the back? This is the shed. ये शेड है हमारा. इस शेड के नीचे हम यहाँ माइक्रोग्रीन रखे. डायरेक्ट सनलाइट नहीं आता है, बट शाम में 4 o'clock और 5 o'clock समटाइम द सन एवरी डे सन कैन गिव लिटिल बिट लाइट हियर. Otherwise not so much of sun direct sun comes on microgreen in our microgreen station. Microgreen takes 7 to 14 days. 1 week to 14 days microgreen takes to be harvested. Where sprouts you can eat in 2 to 3 days depending on which seed you are which seed you are growing, for both for microgreens and for sprouts. So what did we talk about on difference between microgreen and sprout? Just quick one. 7 to 14 days for microgreens, 2 to 3 days for seeds. Microgreen needs little bit of sunlight and ventilation. The sprout doesn't need these kind of ventilation and light. It is the sprouts do very happily in a dingy dark place because it needs bacteria to start sprouting. Microgreens is the first true leaves, we call it. The first leaf, which is this, the first leaf is called microgreen. Where sprouts are just the seed has been eaten. Where microgreen, the shoot, we eat the shoot. Okay. In microgreens we do not eat the roots. In sprout we consume the whole thing. Of course microgreens need some sunlight, photosynthesis, where sprout doesn't need any of these nutrients to germinate. I want to also touch upon one more fact about microgreens and sprout difference between. So these are some unknown facts about sprout, guys, which I want you guys to also do your own research when you are doing. See, I have grown up eating sprouts. Every day our parents used to give us sprouts salad, stir fry sprout, sprout with some bhel. So we have eaten sprout quite a lot. But when I was doing my research on microgreen, when I started growing microgreen, I did some deep diving in microgreen, and I saw these few facts which I want to share it with you. But please share it. You also need to deep dive and understand how much you want to consume and how much you don't want to consume, and how much you want to recommend. So the unknown fact about the sprouts. So bacteria lives on the seed surface. We know that for sprouts the bacteria lives on the seed of the surface of the seed. FDA has declared, please listen to this very carefully, FDA has declared potentially hazardous food suggested to avoid raw sprouts for children, for elderly people, for pregnant women, and anybody with immune compromised conditions. So doctor keeps telling that because these are the seeds with bacteria, they don't want any infection to going into your tummy and leads to another problem. So they have asked to avoid the sprouts for these categories, which is kids, elderly people, the pregnant people, and somebody who is immune compromised condition. Cooking sprout doesn't kill the bacteria. This is a myth. Also we need to understand, just cooking the sprout doesn't kill the bacteria. You are still consuming, you are still taking the bacteria, and the advantages and the benefit which I have been talking about. Eating vegetable is linked to lower risk of many diseases due to the high amount of vitamins, minerals and beneficial plant compounds they contain. Microgreen contains high concentration of compared with mature greens. So expert has clearly stated that microgreen has 5 times more nutrients than any mature greens. So 40% more nutritional value if you compare it with any mature greens. So it's called power food, it's called superfood microgreen. And instead of having so much of palak, if you just take 50 gram of microgreen, that should be enough. That can do the magic of the same kind of nutrient which is gone inside your body. Microgreen contains high concentrations of compared with mature vegetables, which I just stated. Due to their high antioxidant contents, considered a functional food, a food that promotes many health benefits. This food really, depending on which microgreens you are having, from wheatgrass to radish to chrysanthemum to celery, to fenugreek, which is methi, to amaranthus, everything has a different some greens will be rich on potassium, somebody will be on zinc, somebody will be on different this is how the microgreens benefits has been considered. And when you are doing some deep dive on microgreen, you will see the category of microgreens versus the benefit of what it comes with. So we have to understand. Also, we don't recommend something like so much salad you start from tomorrow only. Please see your hair, own body consumption level. If you are going through some kind of disease or you are compromised with some ailment, please speak to your doctor before you practice any of these greens which has very high content of nutritional value. You need to balance your iron, your potassium, your magnesium, all of this you have to balance it. We also want you guys will have some boxes, guys. I have asked you guys to keep some boxes and keep some trays like this. We will show you today 2 types of method of growing microgreens. One method will be with the soil. If you have garden and if you are lucky to have your coco peat and compost, if you are already composting at home and if you have some coco peat, you can start doing your microgreens on soil. But the other part which we started this microgreen workshop is because due to lockdown we can't go out, buy anything from the market, we can't access to our farm or garden. So we will also show you how to grow your microgreens in using water. So first, guys, we will show you how to do it in water and then we will take you how to do it on the soil. So guys, we have this 2 boxes. One is little big box, then the other one. These are normal strawberry and the grape box which you get it from the market. We are using everything which is here are recycled. We have not bought anything for the session or for our usage. We keep getting these when we order our food supplies. Sadly we get it from supermarket to food delivery boys. So yeah, we have these boxes, and make sure that the small one you make. So we need 2 boxes right now. The small one you take, and already you will have maybe few holes. You can make 4 or 6 holes, because the simple reason the water has to penetrate and go into this box. So that's why 5 to 6 holes here is enough for the smaller one. The big one you don't need any holes. Big one is just to make the small one go inside and stay. So what we do, the first step should be put little bit of water, not so much. We only need to touch the water with that small pot. So can you see this? Less than a centimeter of water. Can you see? Less than a centimeter of water, so that this box can go into this and the water can come from the holes. Can you see this? If you don't have this box, you can also do it in this tray. You can also do it in this tray if you don't have box. You can also do like, you can put the water in this. Okay guys, you can put the water in this and you can put your box in this. Little bit more water because this is a bigger surface. That's it. Don't waterlog it so much that your microgreen starts end up having another problem, which is a fungal issues. So the first step, you put your big tray with little bit of water. The small one goes here. Okay, you have these kitchen tissues, and if you are abroad somewhere, if you are seeing from outside, maybe you can grab some kitchen tissues, or normal home delivery also gives you these kind of tissues. So you can have these tissues, place it just, we are making this layer. Can you see? So what we did, we had tray, put some water, we had small box, we are putting, I am taking 3 tissues right now guys. If you have kitchen tissues, you can take 3-fold of the tissues like this. And what do we grow today? So guys, you don't have to panic on the seed part of it, because none of these seeds which are kept here we have bought from the market. It is from my own kitchen. You pull out from your own kitchen drawer and you are set to go. So you don't need to run today to the market to buy any of these things. What are we doing right now? We have methi at home guys. What we do for these seeds, we soak the seeds one night before we start the mash. So today, if you want to grow tomorrow, I suggest you can soak the seeds. But the small seeds like amaranthus, we do not soak. These are amaranthus seeds. These are very thin seeds. As you can see, very, very small ones. You don't need to soak these, but it is good. It is suggested that you soak the bigger one so that it can germinate faster. These are wheat, and we definitely soak these wheat. So what all you can get it from home? You can get some mustard seeds. These are some mustard. So what we do, we take out in our hand and just broadcast it. See how we are broadcasting it? We are not making too much and we are not doing too less. We make sure that we fill it up so that our tissue paper, which we have put it to put the seed intact, it should be like this. Can you see this? This is enough. We have not put the seed in the water in the night. Most of our seed we don't put it in the water. It germinates because we keep giving water twice a day. You should also keep giving water twice but this you don't need to put water on top. Only for the soil thing we need to put water twice. For this, the water is coming from down, so it is already getting the nutrients from down. You close it. You put little bit of water on top of the seed so that the seed is wet, right? Make sure that seed is not bulging with each other. Seed bulging should not be there. What happens with seed bulging? You will have a fungal attack. If the seed, ये सब seed अगर साथ में ऐसे bulge up हो जाएगा, then वो mix करके आपको fungus आ जाएगा. So you don't have to. You make sure that seeds are. आप धीरे धीरे आप इसको हाथ से भी कर सकते हो. अगर seed bulge up कर रहा है, कम है, एक सेकंड इधर आ. ये देखिए, ये seed ऐसे गुच्छे में नहीं आना चाहिए. ऐसे है ना? ये ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए. ये ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए. इसको you have to make sure that seeds are all spread evenly like this. Yeah, this is very good to go. This is really good to go. You close it and you keep this in some dark place. Okay, just for 3 days, 2 to 3 days, till you start seeing some kind of a sprout, which I will show you. I will show you how to see when to, and then after you see the sprout starts coming, little bit of sprouts, you put it in sunlight morning 10-15 minutes in a light place like this. You can put it on your kitchen slab also, you can put it on your kitchen window also, you can put it on the balcony also, but right now the sun is really harsh. These are babies, so I recommend 15 to 20 minutes early in the morning, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock sun is too good, and evening 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock sun is good. But don't put throughout the day in the sun, throughout the day, exposed to the sun. These are babies and it will not survive. This is the biggest suggestion which I can give for the sunlight. And after 2-3 days, when the germination starts, you can see little sprouts, things are coming out. You pull it out and put it in the light. This is the microgreen, how to grow your microgreen in water. The second step, and I will take you to how to take care of your microgreen with fungus, how to harvest, all of that I will take you to the coming up, but right now we will do it in these plates are areca palm plates, and everybody will have these kind of plates or anything from home. You have steel thali. Oh guys, by the way, these kind of thing you can also do it in the net. You will have these channi, which you wash your those sprouts and chana and vegetable. You can do put your microgreens in those also with little bit of thin voile cloth. That also can do very well. To germinate, the shoots are really very good. So these are our industrial tray, guys, which we do at Village Story. These are industrial trays that has so many holes. Okay, but to do it at home you don't need such tray like this, because you're not making so much microgreens, because please understand, once it is full like this, can you show? Yeah, you cannot eat together. You have to eat little bit. You will be eating, on the garnish or any filling or any topping, or you will make some juice out of it. So you cannot just harvest so much, and you'll have 3 to 4 or to 5 people at home. So it's suggested that you you do your microgreens in these small plate for your house use, and do different type of microgreens. Today you can pull out so many things from your kitchen. What can you pull out? You can pull out some methi, you can pull out some dill, which is soa. These are sunflower. These are available in the market. I don't know if you will have the sunflower seeds today in lockdown situation at home. We have some mustard seeds. We have gehu, which is wheat grass, and then we have some amaranthus. You can also take out some onion. You can also take out some flax. You can take out some til. You can take out some moong dal. You can take out some chana dal, the red chana. You can take out some mutter. I have recently somebody told me that they are doing the microgreen with alfalfa. So these are chia seeds. If you have basil seeds. So guys, we do lot of basic seeds, because these exotic seeds are very expensive, especially those rocket and the kale and the broccoli. We do at Village Story. We grow 35 to 40 types of microgreens today, and this can go from chrysanthemum, which is some 18 to 19,000 rupees a kilo, which we get from outside or from online buying, or we buy something which is 60 rupees kilo or 70 rupees kilo rai. So you have to start something small and then get into and see the market, in terms of flavor, taste. Somebody really wants to do basil seeds. Basil seeds are available some 6 to 7,000 rupees a kg, guys, if you go to the market and you want to buy these seeds. So start basic, understand how you have to grow this in a basic way before you graduate into a stage which is like this right now. So we will show you how to do it in with soil. So guys, this is our plate. Any plate you can take. The width should be 1.5 inch, not more than that. This is our coco peat. You take your coco peat and spread in the plate. We are just growing in coco peat, but in Village Story what we do, we also mix little bit of red soil, guys. So we don't have to do everything with coco peat. 90% of the coco peat and 10% of these red soil we'll mix it today, and most of the time we mix it at Village Story. But these are very fine soil. It's not like a mitti with so much of stones and kankar. We make sure that we take the fine soil it really gives a good texture and taste to our microgreen. Yes, the taste differs from growing in water and growing in soil. Soil has that we call it in Hindi sondhapan, has a little smell of earthy smell. So this is what we do when we grow in coco peat. You have to just tap it. Very simple, guys. We put coco peat. 90% of the coco peat, the plate is full of coco peat. You have to just fill it up. We put little bit of water here. Not overlock the water. Don't put so much of water. You only make sure that you are wetting your soil, not putting so much of water. That's why I'm using. Otherwise, what you can do with your hand if you don't have this at home, because right now during lockdown you will not have these, because we have a farm and we have these things. But I'm also showing you that you can do it with your water. And you put these seeds. I'm using same mustard seeds, so after 1 week I'll show you the growth while I'm growing on soil and while I'm growing on water. The water growth when we are putting the seed in the water and while we are putting the seed on the soil, the soil is much faster, which has coco peat, and the water one takes little longer than compare it to when you grow it in soil. So this is how we spread it. Can you see? It's very densely spread. You can just fill it up. So basically the broadcasting has to be very dense. This is how you can fill up. After this, little bit of more coco peat, just a dust of coco peat can go on top. It's just a dust. I'm dusting it. I'm not covering it so much. I'm just dusting it. Just a fine thin layer of coco peat. You can do with hand. You can tap it. Yeah, you can just cover the seed and then you can put some water. Can you see this? You can put little bit of water. Make sure that you're not waterlogging, because waterlogging is not required for microgreens. These are very, very delicate seeds, and we'll be getting these shoots. So you can do it. That's it. I think this is enough. What we do if we are taking this to another place, or you're keeping it, you don't want it to get disturbed. You want to have the seed intact. It should not move from here to there. We also can recommend to put these tissue paper if you have it handy. These are the recycled tissue paper which we keep using it for showing it in our workshop. You can do this. Yeah, so it just gets stuck, and once it is growing you don't have to remove the tissue paper. It just biodegrade within itself. In this you can just put here. Yes, you can do this, and your microgreen with the soil plate is also ready. What you can do usually, because if you do too many trays together or too many plates, you can have these ice cream stick, which you can stick it here so that you know that what you are growing in your plate, or you can write it down on your plate. So this is very simple. What did we do? What supplies we need to grow microgreens, I will read out to you guys. Growing tray we need for both the microgreens. We need growing tray. We need a container like this to grow your microgreens, which is 1.5 inch depth. Then coco peat and soil mix, potting mix if you want to do it on the soil. mix or strainer to grow in water. Then we need seeds, which you saw here. All the seeds which we have taken, most of the seeds today which we are showing you is from our kitchen drawer. And what else? We need some tissue paper just to hold, because see, now the seed will not move. If I do this, if I take somewhere, if you want to run your hand on top, sometime you're putting it on the kitchen window while working, it should not disturb. That's why I have closed it with tissue paper. But in Village Story we do not use any tissue paper. All these trays which you are seeing of microgreens, we don't use any tissue paper. But just to give you an idea, something like this for watering, can or spray if you can, otherwise your hand is absolutely fine. If you need 2 times spraying water. Basically you have to keep the soil damp, and for this one you need to keep your seed damp. So you can change the water which is there on the tray after every day, because sometimes the smell keeps coming on the the microgreen which you are growing on the water. To avoid the smell, you can change the water in the tray, and we suggest that you should do that so that you don't get the smell part of it. Then what do you need? You need scissor. We need scissor. I'll show you how to harvest these microgreens, guys. As you can see, these are your microgreens, and we will show you how to harvest. First, what you can see, these are the seeds. These are the seeds which you have to dust it, because you don't want to eat your seeds. You have to just dust these seeds. Can you see the seeds are coming? So you have to dust these seeds little bit so that the seed can go down, and you harvest from here. So you just hold your microgreen gently. These are babies. Gently you hold your microgreens, so 1 inch above the tray you can harvest. Can you see this? This is how you harvest your microgreens. I'll harvest some more and show you. 1 inch above, if you can see properly. Can you see this? We are just holding the microgreen and cutting. Or thoda cut. We are keeping it here. We are not taking out the roots. We are cutting 1 inch above. Yeah, correct. Like this. Yeah. If the root is coming, you can remove the root. Yes, you can put. So this is your microgreens, guys. This has been harvested and ready to be. You can just wash, gentle wash, and ready to be eaten. What about this? Many questions will come about this. What about this? How do we take care of this? So this goes easily in our composting. We put it in our farm. This is our farm. We put this whole thing once it has been harvested, because it doesn't regrow. Once it is harvested, we put it in our farm, and it goes to the our farm very happily, and our plants do very well. So guys, this is our harvested microgreens from this. So from something like this is a 12-inch tray. So you can get some 200 grams in something like this. Yeah, 200 grams you will get easily from here, and this has to go into your compost bin. So how do we keep it? How do we preserve these microgreens? You can't eat the whole thing together, at once. So we harvest these and we put it in the slight wash, gentle wash, because these are babies. If you put so much of a pressure or wash like this will go. So you have to give gentle wash to this. Put it in eco-friendly bag and put it in your fridge. Easily 10 days you can keep these microgreens, to use. Whenever you want to use this microgreen fresh, I suggest put it in ice cold water, and then throw it in your salad or throw it in your sandwiches and stuff. Why? Because then it really regenerates. It really comes so fresh when you put 10 to 15 minutes in ice water before using it. So you don't have to do anything right now. Just take this microgreens to your kitchen, gentle wash, towel dry it, ziplock it, or put it in eco-friendly bags. Put it in your fridge for 10 days and forget about it. Every time you can just take out little bit, put it in ice water and use it. This is how you can use your microgreen. And for the how did we do our microgreens in the water? We took two boxes like this, one big box, one small box, and we put the water in the big box, and the small box we put tissue paper, we put the seed, and we inserted with the water, and then you kept it in the dark place to germinate. After 2 to 3 days of germination, you put it under the sunlight for 10 to 15 minutes morning and evening, because the microgreen needs some kind of photosynthesis to give this nice fresh green. The color really comes up quite well, and it is definitely healthy to have it exposed to the sunlight. What about the molds and the fungus? I will show you guys some molds and fungus which can come to your microgreen, something like this. Can you see this microgreen full of fungus? I'm sure you can see this very clearly here. This microgreen is mostly happens with wheatgrass or something like moong dal. Guys, it is raining, so we are coming little bit inside. I will just 1 minute, guys. खत्म हो जाएगा क्या? Then हो गया होगा खत्म. It's fine. So for guys, how to avoid the fermentation? How to avoid the fungus? We need the ventilation basically. Ventilation, sunlight, the humid control, the temperature control is required. You should not give exposure to something very extreme. Like people grow microgreens on these artificial lights also. These UV rays lights and all to control, but those are not something which is it's very technology driven. We do it how natural we can do it. This is how we do it, and this is we can achieve good crops out of it. The other thing which you can do, you can clean these trays and these boxes with hydrogen peroxide. These are the hydrogen peroxide is the bleach which is there in your house. Easily you can get it from the market also, and if you don't have it, don't worry, just wash it, towel dry it, just wipe it, and you can use your these trays to grow your microgreens, and fungus should not get attracted. The thing which you have to take care for the fungus and mold, that you should not waterlog so much. You should not put so much of water that fungus comes easily. Because water can lot of water on the soil can lead, and the water, if the seeds are bulging up, it can lead to the fungus. And make sure that you're putting your microgreens morning and evening gives the sunlight, so that the fungus is not there in this. As you can see, any of our microgreens you will not see fungus, because we have light coming up, and in the evening we have little bit of sunlight which touches the microgreens. So we are safe in terms of growing microgreens in these kind of environment. And in terms of weather, I have people staying in US, and definitely it's a struggle in US for extreme weather to grow your microgreens or to go do anything in the garden. So anything extreme restricts germination and restricts the growth of these plants or any other plant. So this is my tip for the fungus and the mold. Harvesting, I showed you how do we harvest it. Harvesting we only need to shake little bit so that the seed can go down. The seed can go down. These are the seed which you see it on the leaf. If you just little bit gently you shake it, the seed will go down, and you take the scissor and you harvest. You don't have to change the potting mix. You have to change the potting mix for the next tray which you are doing it. And this whole potting mix goes to our farm, to the farmland. It doesn't come back. It doesn't come back to the same. We have to redo the whole pot. And always use organic and local seeds, guys. If you can find some, and if you grow your own seed, why not? We do 3-4 seeds after the session. I'll show you the farm. We grow our own seed. I will show you the lettuce seed which we are growing, the rocket seed which we are growing, marigold which we grow. Amaranthus is our own seed. Then recently which we have harvested is sunflower. We have harvested our own seeds. So there are few seeds which we are growing, but we are not growing in such quantity that we can start making industrial trays for microgreens. But yes, we are practicing taking out our own seeds, which is also a very good exercise for everybody to learn how to harvest your own seeds. So make sure that you are not using chemical and the chemical coated seeds so much, because again, if these are chemical, then you are growing something which is chemical, then you are eating something chemical. So as restricted as possible. Everything avoiding 100% is in this environment is not is very difficult, I understand, but how much you can avoid, you should avoid. And one more thing, for dhania, which is coriander and sauf, make sure that you cut it in half, put it in water for 1 day, soak it in water for 1 day, and then broadcast it, because dhania is little stiff to germinate. So we always tell you to cut the dhania and cut the sauf, which is fennel, into half. If you do like this, if you take dhania in your hand and you do like this, it automatically splits. You don't have to go and do some machine work on that. The commonly used microgreens, which is we are using at Village Story, and you can pick up from something like this from your from your kitchen drawer also. We use radish, amaranthus red and green. We use peas shoot. We use red chana and the green chana. We do spinach, which is palak. We do fennel, which is sauf. We do dil, which is soa, which is alfalfa. We are doing rocket and arugula. We are doing onion seed, basil seed, mustard seeds, fenugreek, which is methi. We are doing cilantro, which is dhania. We are doing kale. We are doing sorrel, and we are doing moong dal. We are doing flax seeds. We are doing sunflower. So yes, you can really try all of the vegetables and all of the herbs. But yes, I have not tried those big seeds like rajma and those big ones, those tree seeds. No. Only edible greens and edible herbs, which we are trying it. And you guys should also try the til. That also really comes out quite well. Preparing and consuming: rinse and dry them, towel dry them, keep it in the fridge for 10 days, and every day you can use little bit, and you can make a smoothie. You can refrigerate it. If you don't use them immediately, you can use it for a week easily. Eat them raw on your salad and your dressing. I have seen a friend of mine, she takes our sunflower and pea shoot, and she makes lovely dessert. If you go to her Instagram page, you will see these desserts are decorated with these little microgreens to give a nice fresh look to her dessert, and it is really good. I have tried her microgreens. You can try it on rolls, you can try it on salad dressing, you can try on soup and sandwiches, garnish. You can do a lot of vegetable and meat, you can put it on top, and you're ready to go, because everything is cooked, and moment you put some garnish and freshness, the crunchiness comes, and the whole flavor really goes to another level. The appreciation of food on the table is high. And there are few recently we have a few kids who have joined on microgreen workshop, and these kids were so excited to make their little presentation with what they are growing, what is the stage they are growing into, how they harvested, what did they make into it. They made a whole presentation which is parked on Village Story Facebook page. If you can see, the school which initiated was Chalk. I think it's an NGO in Chennai, and they made all the kids do the microgreens while seeing our workshop, and they did very good job, guys. During lockdown, it was a project for them to grow your own microgreens, and everybody really all the kids did such beautiful work on growing their microgreens. It really motivates people like us who are sitting and just being on the mobile, or do something. So I really suggest and request you guys to come out of and be charged, and do something interesting for the family, for your kitchen. And a lot of people have started trying out different kind of gourmet food at sitting at home during lockdown. So on those food, this can really go as compliment. So taste and nutrition, which I want to touch upon. Nutritional content depends upon individual spices. Like radish, mustard, kale, rocket, little bit spicy. These are little bit spicy. But the peas and the sunflowers are sweet. So totally depend on what you are making. Like if you are doing some kind of a sweet thing, then I think you put some sweet microgreen to complement it. in general, microgreens have 5 times levels of nutrients, which I was been telling you. While the nutrient contents vary slightly, most varieties tend to be rich in potassium, zinc, magnesium and copper. Microgreens are also great source of beneficial plant components like antioxidant. And we do a lot of microgreen workshop, guys, with corporates. We do it at Village Story. Right now the farm is closed for people to come inside, but that's how we decided to go online and do it with engage people outside. We do school engagement program with these initiative of grow your own microgreens. And these are the steps which I want to show you, how people show us and send us the photograph when they do the microgreens. See, somebody is doing moong here. These are the first steps from the customer which has been received by us. Somebody is growing sunflower here. Somebody has done methi and sunflower combination. This is the mustard green somebody has done. This is also the sunflower and the methi. And yeah, this is I think this is pea shoot. So people give us these photographs to show us how. And these are our microgreens, as you can see on the screen. I will also show you our microgreens personally. These are our radish microgreen which you are seeing right now. And guys, you can connect with us. I am Anamika here from Village Story. My phone number is 9740700900. And my email is anamika.bist@villagestory.co.in. I will show you the microgreens here. We have little less light, but at least you can see these are the radish. This is sunflower, guys. Can you see this? This is sunflower. This is the mustard seed. This is the mustard microgreen which is happening, which is growing here. It just started sprouting, started germinating here. Then we have this celery. These are the celery which is really flavorful and very the taste is very sharp. Radish ready to be harvested here. We have these red chana. We have flax here. These are flax seeds. These are matar, peas. Again, these are chana. This is dill. This is still not done. These are again some flax seeds here. This is sauf, fennel. These are sauf here. We have some more celery here. We have methi here. The fenugreek. I can show you the sunflower again here. Some more sunflower here. Very sweet to taste. Just harvest and taste. You can just eat. Every time I pass by sunflower, I have to eat. Mustard, my favorite. And guys, we have 2 minutes to show you this Village Story where we are right now in Bangalore. We started Village Story 2.5 years back with community farming. सामूहिक खेती हमने स्टार्ट किया है यहाँ पे. आप आ करके अपना फार्म यहाँ ले सकते हैं. छोटा सा यहाँ पे हम इसको स्क्वायर फुट फार्मिंग बोलते हैं. We give you a small piece of land and you can come and do your small gardening and grow your own food and experience your growing food. So these are some palak, some fennel. So one of the initiative is community farming. We also engage with lot of farmers and we do farmers market. Right now our initiative is lockdown farmers market, where we are trying to help farmers to reach out directly to the consumer so that their crops doesn't get wasted. So guys, you can connect with us and we'll try to put you guys in touch with consumers who are looking for some vegetables. These are our sarso da saag. This whole thing is mustard. It's really we have had 3 times already the harvesting is done. This is the 4th time which we started, and this is how the Village Story has this is our yoga shala. We do a lot of workshops and events on sustainability. We also do workshop like how to grow your mushrooms, the safe water practices, how to make your safe water, by using natural ingredients, then recycle products. That's the container for the farm, guys. This is a 1-bedroom container, which is a upcycled container, which has been parked here for people to come and see. And this is how we give our plot. Please come and connect with us on Anamika Best at villagestory.co.in, or my mobile is 9740700900. Village Story is a startup based in Bangalore. We started 2 years back, and we started with community farming, something like this. So this is somebody's farm called The Earth. He's growing some tomato, some amaranthus, some palak, and some lettuce, and some celery. So there are 5 things right now which is growing in the plot, and they keep coming here. This is one couple, a Bengali couple, and they have gifted this plot to each other on this Valentine Day. And it's beautiful, guys. We engage a lot of schools on these green initiative programs, and please connect with us, guys. And thank you so much, agriculture world, and thank you so much, Krishi Jagran, for giving us an opportunity and the platform to talk about our initiative and to share our experience of growing your own microgreens. And we will have a lot of association in future. Thank you again, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you again for coming and encouraging us and motivating us. And this is Anamika here, signing off from Village Story, Bangalore. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.